I'm pissed off at the last season almost, and the injury and just the way it all went. I think we could have done so much better. For me now, it's very much about just being an athlete. He's the new coach. We're in Alicante, as you can see. It's much nicer weather, much nicer location. Out here for the Ben Weider Pro Qualifier and California Pro Show, which is a classic physique and bikini pro show. It's quite sentimental being here. This is obviously where I turned pro, in Alicante, at this same venue. Literally stayed 2 streets over. So if you watch the Pro Qualifier YouTube video, you might recognise a lot of this because it's literally the same location. So I like Alicante, weather's lovely. It's lovely to be here. Been here since Wednesday. It's now Friday morning. This is the first video we're filming here. This morning, we're waiting now to get picked up by a gym owner who's going to take us to his gym in Benidorm. So I've never been to Benidorm, first time. Fucking up the lads. Can't wait to nail a pint with fucking Dave and talk about how much we love the English football team and be horrifically racist. Yeah, we've got Upper on the cards today. This will be the first video I'm filming from the new split. So the training, the sessions, they are a little bit different to what I'm used to. This is only my second rotation, so it's literally my second time running this session now. And obviously it's a different gym. I don't know what equipment's there, so it's going to be a little bit makeshift, but we'll make do. It will be a little bit slower than normal, just because I will show you the split on my phone. Like, it's very complicated, very in-depth, which is great. It's really fun. I'm loving it. And obviously it's come from my new coach, which if you've clicked on this video, you've seen the title. I will get into that in a little bit, but we'll do that when we're actually at the gym, because I like my viewer retention, so I'm going to make you all wait. But yeah, we're waiting to get picked up, and then we'll pick this up probably at the gym at Legacy Fitness in Benidorm and get into the session. Raspberry Ripple cream of rice. I prefer rice pudding with a raspberry cheesecake flavour powder in there from ESN, specifically with code EAGLES. Today I'm going to run back primary, chest secondary with a delt touch-up. So the way this split's formulated, I made a video breaking it down a little bit more in depth at some point, because there is a lot, like, it's a really in-depth PDF. It's sick, but there's a lot of reading, right? It's a lot higher volume than I'm used to, moving away from sort of top set, back off set, because I got so strong that it just led to injuries, like the hip and whatnot. So yeah, loads of intensifiers, much higher volume, feels fantastic. This is baseline volume right now, because it will be tapered up as food goes up and body weight and all that, and my ability to recover and tolerate that stimulus goes up. But right now, I'm struggling to tolerate this because it's so much higher volume than I'm used to. So sometimes I do slightly less sets than programmed initially, just getting used to it. But yeah, so it's sort of 3 upper days. They rotate. So today is obviously back primary, chest secondary, delt touch-up. Then the next one will be chest primary, delt secondary, back touch-up, and then delt primary, chest secondary, back touch-up. So the 3 upper days rotate, but today it starts with back. It's predominantly back. I'd call this a back session with a press and a fly at the end, basically. There's a lot of reading, but I'm still getting used to it, so I keep having to read it. After I've run this for like 3 rotations, it'll be in the head and I'll know. I've also not got my logbook with me, but it's all different equipment and brands to what I'm used to, so not gonna worry too much about that today, just gonna enjoy training. I really like the gym. I like the fact there's like an outdoor bit and it's really hot, so the pump's gonna be good. We'll get a tank spawn. We're still pretty lean, as you've seen already. Like, legs are stripped out somehow still. So I might just jump on stage this weekend, Sunday. This is a 2-day out video, surprise, secret prep. Just need to get a tan on and I'm good to go. But no, we're gonna go get into this, get this session boxed off, run some posing after, get some cool photos, and just enjoy it. It's a very cool gym, and I'm pretty privileged to be in a position where they've come and picked me up and brought me here. So, because normally I've done this, so yeah, sick. Gonna enjoy it. We'll get into it. Right, 2 feeding sets on the ball down, and then max effort set, top set, and then squeeze set, back off set. With the squeeze set, you're basically trying to make a lightweight as difficult as possible. So say you pick a weight that you can do for 15 reps, make it so hard that you fail at 10, right? What are you gonna do? You're gonna slow down the eccentric, you're gonna really squeeze, you're gonna make sure you're feeling it. Basically, you're not gonna ego lift. So with this one, when we're trying to hit lats, right, imagine just keep your elbows forward and pull into the lats, rather than lifting up your chest and driving through and retracting that scapula and all that sort of stuff. So I think you want to keep your scapula retracted, but obviously just not rolling through and then end up hitting loads of upper back. Obviously, I've just said Kai Wilkes is the new coach. I'll talk a little bit more later about why I've gone for Kyle, but for me, it's the perfect sort of, I'm very confident in my decision, right? He's obviously very, very well educated. Most notable people, for those who don't know him, works with Nick Walker at the minute, right? Works with Anton, the 20-year-old classic guy. Worked with loads of other athletes as well. They're the more notable ones you'll know. And I think he'll be a lot more well known after the Pittsburgh Pro coming up, because I think Nick and Anton, respectively, are going to turn some heads. And that's him bringing them in what I think will be their best of all time by an absolute mile. So yeah, a number of reasons. I had a phone call with him, a few other coaches as well. He's definitely what I feel is what I need right now. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I'll get a little bit more into why specifically Kyle later in the video, but right now I want to train. So one thing I am trying to do is take shorter rest times in between my sets. So I've not been bad for in the past. Difficult at the minute. Well, every time in between sets, I have to go back and read the notes of how he wants me to execute. He's a very detailed training plan, in fairness. It's very good. I really have been loving the high volume. So now, next up, we've got obviously a back off squeeze set, 12 plus reps. And then we'll move into the next one. But yeah, shorter rest time. So I'm a lot more fatigued going into the back off set, but because there's a lot more a lot more volume throughout the session. If I take too long in between sets, the session will be 3 hours. So the higher volume, again, I'm then using less weight because I'm obviously training with shorter rest time, and it's not really impacting execution at all, so it's going well. So this is one of the intensity techniques that's pretty frequent throughout the training. Never done it before, feels good. So we've got the second set, we've got 12 reps. On the last set, I want you to do a rest pause set, but only resting 15 seconds. So I'm gonna do 3 plates, fail around 12, rest for 15 seconds, and then upon hitting failure, you'll reduce the weight by 50%, perform another set, aim for 12 reps, but every 4th rep, you're gonna squeeze for a count of 3 at the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to 12. So that's, I'd call that a drop set personally, because you're dropping the load. But yeah, we'll do 3 plates, fail, take off probably just 20, because taking off 2 plates will be quite chuff, and then go from there. Good. Yep, hold. This video is out on Sunday. Next week's video will likely be the show. So obviously I'm out here for Danny competing my client, so we'll show you a lot of the different sides. So like obviously, right, you all know me as a bodybuilder. More than, like, majority of my income I actually do make through coaching. And that's what we're doing for 4 years now. So I work with the vast majority, like majority of my day is spent coaching, I'll be honest. Obviously bodybuilding, social media, that's all, well, bodybuilding's not new, bodybuilding's always been there, but so social media stuff is new. And obviously, yes, I'm very fortunate that is also a second income stream. Thanks to all you lot that use Code Eagles, love you. But yeah, so I'll show you the sort of other side to me, which is the more coaching aspect. So I'll be in coach mode for that video. And we'll also show you some of the show, at the show. I know there's a few bigger names there, not competing, but like fucking Neckzilla's gonna be there, right? I've never seen Rubiel in person, and I can't fucking wait, because he's just an absolute freak. So I can't wait to see that in person, it's gonna be wild. So we'll try and get that on video. I'll go and like compare my neck girth to him, and just see how fucking actually massive he is. But I need to do a back off set now, so I'm gonna stop talking.
30. 40.
So, cable lat row, 3 working sets. Reps decrease in each set, 15, 12, 10, so probably same weight for 3 sets. On the first 2 sets, every 4th rep squeeze for 4 seconds. On the last set we go to failure, then rest for 15 seconds, then go to failure again, then drop the weight by 50% and go to failure. No need to squeeze and hold contractions on the 4th rep on the 3rd set, so fucking hell. Right, this is what absolutely finished me last time. And after this I had to go into 3 sets of pull-ups, so I just couldn't move. We've got same weight again to failure, rest 15 seconds to failure again, and then drop set, so half the weight to failure again. So rest pause into a drop set is what I'd call it, but just normal reps, no static hold.
Let's go. 1, 2, 4, 15. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10.
After pull-ups, we got a chest press and then a chest fly, and then we just got rear delts. So no medial head or front delt, which is thank God. But yeah, this is gonna really fucking hurt. Oh fucking hell, fucking shit. Oh fuck that now. Oh, fuck you.
No.
I can't get a pull up on there. Cut that. Edit that out. Three flat sets, nothing fancy. There is the option to superset in this with the fly for a change of pace, but honestly, my body can't handle that fucking much intensity at this point. Maybe later down the line to rotate things and freshen things up, but right now it's fucking flat sets for me, otherwise I'm gassed out. Right, posed as you've seen, still pretty fucking lean. Weirdly dry today, I think it's because obviously the climate's different, so I'm a little bit drier, very dehydrated. I now sat down, brought my post-workout with me because it's like a 30-minute drive back to Alicante. Obviously not my usual post-workout, it should be rice pudding. However, I was meant to get a delivery from ESN to the apartment yesterday. As with all fucking times I travel, a delivery from ESN, it was delayed, not through any of ESN's fault, actually through my fault really, because I asked for it to arrive Thursday, but it turns out Thursday in Spain was Labour Day, so it was bank holiday, so there was no deliveries, so that one's on me. But that's coming today, so that'll be in later, my whey isolate and rice pudding, which is typically what I eat now. The rest of the week I've been doing oats instead in the morning, because I brought 200 grams of whey out just in case it didn't show up. Luckily it didn't, but I ran out of whey this morning, and don't really like to do oats post-workout, so we've just got rice and some beef mince, should be chicken. Didn't have time to cook chicken this morning, so I was doing check-ins. Had beef mince prepped, so eating the beef mince now, and then we'll eat chicken in my later meal. Got a load of pineapple as well to aid the digestion, and pineapple here is so fucking nice and fresh. So yeah, obviously not perfect food, but like all things considered, I'm still going to eat the exact same food sources and quantities all day. Just gonna have to rotate it a little bit, which all things considered when traveling, not bad. Like, it's just, there's no point stressing over it, like, shit, I've not had chicken post-workout. The extra bit of fat in this beef mince is gonna slow my digestion. I'm not gonna replenish the glycogen stores quick enough and all that sort of shit. It's not really gonna make a difference for 1 or 2 days. So stress yourself out trying to be overly perfect. Like, just get it in. And then when you're back home, be overly perfect. But for right now, this is sound. It's just very fucking warm, so I've microwaved the shit out of it, and it's too hot here, so I don't want to eat boiling hot rice and beef. Whilst it cools down, I'll quickly touch on Kai Wilkes. So yeah, had a call with him. We were speaking for about an hour and a half, honestly, for ages. Obviously there is a lot of you maybe sat there like, why not Stefan? Why not Chris Aceto? Why not Patrick Tour? Like all these sorts of people. And to be honest, I think for me and what I need, I really like Kyle's approach. I really like the conversation with him. I think for those who know him, obviously he coaches a lot of influencer bodybuilders, and not to go into names and not to speak poorly on any of them, but a lot of them have come in out of shape. And a lot of people, I think Kyle got a bit of a bad reputation from that, but it obviously was not Kyle. It's obviously these influencers who can't fucking stick to a diet in a prep because they don't understand quite what it takes. Whereas when you then pair Kyle with an actual bodybuilder, Nick, Anton, tons of others who aren't as well known, right? They are fucking nails every time. And I think you'll see that with Pittsburgh coming up. And so, yeah, I'm very excited. I'm just covering that because there's a fly and I don't want to get my pineapple. So yeah, I like Kyle's approach. He's very personable. He's very in tune with sort of mindset and that sort of stuff as well. So I reached out to a few people, spoke to quite a few people who've worked with him in the past, and it was all very positive, you know. So yeah, I'll obviously, it's a new relationship with any coach, right? You don't just sign up and it's perfect. Like, it takes time, which is why it's so important, in my opinion, to work with a coach for a decent off season before you go into a prep. Like, I wouldn't want to just jump into a prep with a brand new coach who doesn't know my body, who doesn't know the way I work, who I don't know the way they work, and that sort of stuff. So we're in that learning phase, and I think it's very good. I have the utmost respect for Kyle in terms of, I feel you need to see your coach kind of on a pedestal, because it just keeps you wanting to impress them, if that makes sense. That's the way I see it. And that's none of this, obviously, Tom. Yes, I've left Tom, obviously. Me and Tom are still very, very good friends, right? We speak very often. There is no animosity, there is no bad blood. I think Tom and I had a fantastic run. We were with each other for 3.5 years, and I'm very grateful for everything he's done for me. He's done a lot more for me, more than just bodybuilding, right? He's helped me with my business. He's put me in touch with my accountant when I started needing an accountant, when I was growing my business, all this sort of shit. Like, there's a lot. Tom was a lot more than just a coach. And obviously we became very close and very good friends, and that was almost partly why I needed that change, because we were so close. It was so friendly, lines were blurred, and with the sort of, it was as a relationship more than Tom telling me what to do. You know, he'd suggest things, get my input, I'd suggest things, he'd give feedback, and it was very much a collaboration, which worked fantastically in the off season. When it came to crunch time in prep, and there was that pressure in the eyes, I think that's where it went wrong. And it's once you've crossed that boundary, it's so hard to go back. I think Ian Valliere spoke about it a lot before with his relationship with Matt Jansen. That's why he had to leave Matt Jansen and go to Patrick. And then same reason why he then left Patrick and went back to Matt. Not because they were bad, but just because we needed that change and they got too comfortable, basically. And that's something that happens. Obviously, I've learned from that. Like, it's important to have a very good relationship with the coach, but it's also important to keep them on that pedestal. So for me now, it's very much about just being an athlete. As you've seen, like, I'm not doing my own meal plan anymore. It's Kyle's, eat this at this time, take these supplements. Like, I got a fucking half-an-hour Loom video on health supplements and what time to take them and how much to take. Like, crazy amounts of detail on the smallest shit. The training plan, crazy amounts of detail on the smallest shit. With Tom, and this again, no credit, nothing bad on speaking on Tom, it was my decision. I did my own training, I did my own meal plan, and that sort of stuff. And that's the way it's always been. And for me now, I just needed to change. I needed to just be an athlete and not have to think about it, because I'm so much busier nowadays with the social media, with the coaching. It's like, I can't do all of that and then manage my own stuff. It's too much thinking, it's too much stress, pressure, especially the level I'm at now and the level I'm trying to reach. I need someone who's been there and done it all before with people prior. And that's where Kyle, for me, was that person. And also, I think Stefan is, like, for example, an incredible coach. For me personally, I feel he's too busy. He's can absolutely handle it. There's no questions about that. You've seen the consistent results. He's an incredibly intelligent individual. But for me personally, just having the peace of mind knowing that, you know, say I'm at the Olympia and Kyle's only got 3 or 4 clients, right? I'm going to get a lot of attention. I want to be in the gym in peak week, training with him, I want him there. Whereas when it's Stefan, he's got 25 athletes competing at the Olympia. It's harder to get the time of day, and that's not to say that he needs to give you the time of day to get the results, because he doesn't. He gets all the results without giving them that time. But for me as an athlete, what I need for peace of mind is a little bit more attention in peak week, I feel. The rest of the year, I'm pretty easy going. Like, as you see with Tom, I do my own shit for the off season, fantastic. But just me mentally, when I'm in peak week, I kind of need that attention to keep me relaxed almost. So there's a whole number of reasons. You'll see the relationship progress. You'll see more stuff. I'll speak about everything, you know, what we're changing, how training volume's been adjusted, the food, all that sort of process will come. Right now, it's still not that exciting because we're health phasing, getting healthy. We're going to look at blood work, and then we'll start the off-season push-up, hopefully in the next 3 or 4 weeks, depending on what that blood work comes back like. But another thing Carl's big on is we're both very much in the mindset of this is a long-term thing. I'm not trying to rush, right? I'm very, very young still. Potential's there, but I don't want to be someone who had potential and then tried to rush it, fucked it up, and never fulfilled it, basically. So it's like being patient. We know the trajectory I'm on and can be on, and it's just about being consistent, making the right things, being smart with health and longevity, and seeing that through. Because to put it in perspective, this is something Nilesh, my cameraman, said to me after I shat in the bed at Fit World when I was on the brink of fucking the edge of the world. It's like I could shit the bed for the next 3 years in pro shows, and then win one finally when I'm 25, whatever, and I'll still be at the Olympia at 25 years old, which is still so mentally young compared to most people. And that puts it in perspective, right? I don't need to rush this. So, in saying that, I am going to compete next year, hopefully. Well, definitely, I want to in 2026. And I want to, not falsely, but genuinely sort of have a different mindset going into that prep. I feel this year, looking back, I was a little bit pessimistic, to say the least, a little bit defeatist on myself throughout the entirety of prep. And that's where I've always been, and that's just who I am. And I want to go into next year with a little bit more, not arrogance, but like confidence in myself, my own ability to qualify for the Olympia, because that is what next year is about, right? I'm not going to bullshit you. I do not want to prep next year and come 5th again. We are still going to do big shows. I'm not just going to fucking go to like the middle of buttfuck nowhere and do a pro show with 4 people in it and scrape a qualification, because to me that doesn't mean anything. So it's going to be big shows. We may not win them, but like fucking going to try. That's the goal. So that's what we're working towards now, and that's why this rebound's been so militant. That's why I've been so perfect on it, because I'm pissed off at the last season almost, and the injury and just the way it all went. I think we could have done so much better, and that frustrates me. So that's very much where we're at. That's where my head's at. It's going to be a very, very exciting off-season, and a very exciting next year. It's going to go quick, I think, this off-season, straight into another prep next year. I'm already like, now I feel mentally refreshed and healthy again. I'm like, sound like I could prep now. But there's no point prepping now because I don't have the muscle. So we need to build the muscle and then I'll prep. So that's what's coming. Next video will be the show, and then we'll also do a food video whilst we're out here, because I'm eating too clean and on plan. So we do have something lined up. It involves an all-you-can-eat buffet for Danny and I post-show Sunday night. So that's going to be a great video. Look forward to that one. Like and subscribe so you don't miss it, and I will see you next week for another video from Alicante in Spain.